Juliette, this is Daddy again. Getting very near the end of the emails between me and your mother. I have to tell you something that when I read that last email from your mother, it destroyed all my hopes. I had so much hope going into that when the lawyers went away, she would do the right thing. It kind of happened in the past, but I don't know where all this hatred for me comes from. We're talking about a period of 2 years since I've seen either of you, and just some email exchanges with your mother, and actually no correspondence with you whatsoever. And it just tore me apart, and I really, I was going to people and I was saying, what the hell is going on, and an old psychiatrist friend of mine, he said, have you ever heard of covert narcissism? I said, I heard of narcissism. And I didn't even get the definition of that right, what that's really all about. But there's a lot of names for it: shy narcissism, covert narcissism, a lot of things. It's all over the internet. And there's this 20-point test that you can take if you see somebody with covert narcissism, by this professional guy, Richard Gannon. And normally I just watch these things, and I'm sitting on the edge of my chair, and I'm just like, by point number 8, I'm like riveted, and like by point 12 or 13, I'm getting sick to my stomach, because this guy is no longer talking about what a covert narcissist is. He's talking about your mother. He's talking exactly all of the traits that your mother has. All of these traits, all these points, these 20 points. I think there was 1 point out of the 20 that I say really couldn't apply to your mother. And all of these mental pathologies are spectral anyway, but when you hit 19 out of 20 points on a test, you've got it, he was no longer, I was sick to my stomach, because we said, it's never going to get better. And she wants to hurt you continuously because she feels a sense of entitlement, that she was probably the same as you as a child, shy. She was probably picked on. She was probably somehow abused in her family, whether it was just ignored or whether it was, just verbally or whatever. And now she's doing the same to you. And being a helicopter mom or an overprotective mother is the worst thing you could do to a child, because when you let that child out into the world, they'll be eaten alive, because that person will be there, no longer there to protect them. And what I said about your living at home with your mother when you're 25, well, that might ironically be true if your mother is doing this to you. And you need to find your own voice. You need to find your own self. You need to recognize your own problems and deal with them. If you have a problem with me, you need to tell me about them, whatever, but you can't blame anybody else for your problems, and you can't let anybody else control your life. You're going to be 18 in 3 weeks from tomorrow, for today. It's just turned Sunday. 3 weeks, you're going to be 18. You're going to be an adult. And you could, a lot of people leave home at that time, and your mother is going to try and protect you, but she can no longer take me to court, because you're going to have to take me to court for whatever stupid reason, But you're not gonna lie. You're not gonna lie like your mother lied, because hopefully you're not a narcissist as well. But everybody has these different traits. It more or less means your mother has some psychological problems, as opposed to being a bad person, but she still does evil things. And what I was told is that I have to cut off correspondence with her. I cannot talk to your mother anymore, at all, under any circumstances, unless your mother were to come to me and say, "Let's talk about you're seeing Juliette again," or whatever. I'd be open to that, and maybe my assessment was wrong, and I'd be happy to admit it. And your mother says you switch back and forth. Well, remember that last email. The next email she writes me is at orderseniorportraits.com. You're welcome to order whatever you want. All right? Next email, the deadline is November 24th. And I write back, "And your book?" And I write, "Thanks." And she goes, "Not sure offhand, maybe check with the school's website." Like nothing ever happened. Like you're so mean one day, and then next day you want to apologize, and you act like nothing happened. She puts on me the characteristics that she herself is displaying, and that's one of the signs. It's called, gaslighting. And Loyd says to me, "The speaker of the PTA had a pretty dull presentation. A few people asked questions afterwards. The audience left, and a few people served on the PTA stayed for their meeting." I said, "Never been to one before, but I was advised to take a stronger interest in school." And this is true. My therapist said, "Show them that you want to be a good father. Show them that you want to be in your father's life. And go to that school and meet these teachers whatever little time you have left, and make yourself known to them." Okay? So that's why I did it. I didn't do it trying to undermine your mother for anything, but I may have, because God knows what she's told these teachers. Your mother writes again, "Advised by your therapist, a friend, a lawyer. I'm going to try to take it in stride and keep you informed." Well, listen to how she takes it in stride in the January email. She's not attending Dallasbury High School for about a month. She's doing a program for depression and catch-up accidentally. She tells me the same thing over and over again. She may get tested soon if she's on the autism spectrum. So, she thinks you have autism. And I said, my answer to her was yes. A very confusing answer. And then I write to her, "Dear Lori, I was really quite amazed by your long email response, and I have to say I was quite impressed. I thought a lot about this email that I was going to write her and how to respond, and I wanted her to be very confused by it, because I wanted to get the answer out of her about the bastard comment." I continue. "Now, this may seem an odd thing to say, but you really let loose. You got it all out of your system, which is a good thing. I think you really need to keep that in, because keeping it in is bad for you. Of course, I don't agree with a lot of what you said, but I'm not bothered by it. Sure, I had an immediate reaction to defend myself. However, I'm not bothered by old accusations and gaslighting. They don't mean anything to me. They are past or just not true. What did someone say? Don't dwell on the past. Don't judge yourself by past actions, but rather by your choice moving forward." That's something your mother wrote to me. But she's the one that dwells on the past. "I still hold the door open for you to bring me into the situation to help my daughter, which is really the only really important thing. It doesn't matter what we think of each other. There were really two things in your email that bothered me. The first is that you hate me. Hate is a poison. We see it in the news and politics, and it leads to destruction of our civilization. There is no room for hate. I certainly do not hate you. For God's sakes, I married you. I loved you. I had a baby with you, and then you left me. I lost my best friend. I know we have done things to each other that were bad, but we have to think of Juliette and what's best for her. One thing that I do not have is any photos or videos of any of the trips we took together. I would like a copy of them and give them back. We had many adventures, one I am sure Juliette would love to hear one day. I would like to know more details, such as what school she's gone to, what doctor she has seen, what medication she is on. One last thing. Why do you think my parents weren't married when I was born? You chose to call me a bastard. I can assure you I'm not. Why did you think my parents weren't married? I'm confused. Please answer that. Bertrand Russell said, we exist in a small sliver of light between two vast voids of darkness. The least we can do is try and be nice to one another. Richard Dawkins said, we have won a lottery. It is a lottery that is the most astronomical odds that no human can even conceive of how big the odds are. And what prize did we win? Being right here, right now. I hope the email was just a cathartic experience for you, and that you will live without hate or revenge or resentment. If we never talk, nothing will be gained. There'll be no way to show you how much I've changed. There'll be no way of discussing whether what we assume is true actually is. I suppose you made yourself clear, but I'll never close the door. Take care of your daughter, and I love you. All right. Well, how's that a response to that crazy hate mail, right? And then she writes back, good news, Juliette's back at her high school. She has a special program. School made many accommodations. She had some classes. She does not need to graduate. She's feeling less anxiety. Psychiatrist prescribed Lamisil. Requires to be upped. Yesterday, Julie got stepped up dose. She takes, so she at least told me medicine that they're on. Maybe, did I get through to her? I don't know. Was I wrong about the narcissistic thing? I don't know. She takes PE classes every other day. I noticed that you weren't taking PE classes. I'll write back. What school was she going to? What's this other school? Who's her psychiatrist? What meds is she on? Why'd you call me bastard? Why can't you stand me and want nothing to do with me? I thought you had a change of mind. Just telling me this isn't good enough. I would like the details, please. You need to embrace the Christian idea of forgiveness. That not only that, teach it to Juliette. I am ready to do the right thing for you. Think very hard about that. Think about what is best for Juliette, please. I'll write more later. And if Lori's family is listening in, what about the Christian idea of forgiveness? And what did I do that needs to be forgiven? And that I am to suffer and to never see into her again. Okay? And then she writes back, she's back at her high school. This Dr. Bonbaga is her psychiatrist. She gives me all the medicines you're on. Great. Why'd you call me bastard? Because it's one of those words that's not necessarily literal. It's an informal meaning to it. Clearly your parents were married when you were born, so clearly refers to a more informal meaning such as a jerk. I don't know why you're fixated on it. If she doesn't understand why I'm fixated on it, then she really has no idea why I'm asking her that question, or else she would not have answered it. About the Christian idea of forgiveness, she goes, I'll think about it. Hey, Tony or Pat, or, if you're listening to this, she's going to think about the Christian idea of forgiveness. Let's have a think about that. She writes, school does not have permission to talk to you. I'll update you more quickly. School does not have the permission to talk to me. That is a lie. It will be revealed in the last of these videos. I write, I'll see what my lawyer says about the school not being allowed to talk to her. I'm glad you acknowledge bastard did not make it taken literally, such as I'm going to kill you, such and such. Thank you very much for that. She says, okay, let me know what your lawyer says. Like, yeah, go see what she could do. I said, it would be so easy to be friendly and work together. I will see. I would be so willing to take the easy road. I am certain that that would be the best for Juliette. Like I said, think about where the two roads lead. I will always take the high road. I'm always going to be the better person. I know you are better than this. And that's about it. She sends me another email in December about you spraining your ankle. And I didn't respond to it, but I did give you. I've asked her to write you a birthday card. She doesn't want to. Is that true, Juliette? Is that true? Did she ask you to write me a birthday card? You said you didn't want to? You know the truth. I'm taking her to every so often to see if she'll agree to write it. And she gets less depression and anxiety. Try it again. She is gaslighting you, too. Not just me, you. All right? But I have to end this video here because the next email she sends me is January 17th. And it's the next hate mail. It's the next hate mail. And it's the last one. I would never have spoken to your mother since December of 2017 because they say do not talk or have any conversations with a covert narcissist. Do not. A sadist needs a victim. If a sadist doesn't have a victim, then they'll go crazy. It'll drive your mother crazy when she finds out that I have every right to attend your school. Go to meetings, go to PTA meetings, go to anything I want to because I went to the channels to find out, and I did, and your mother lied. And all that we know is that your mother does nothing but lie. Sorry to tell you, it's hard to tell you. But I'm in the position I'm in because your mother lies. And the last email is going to be next, and it's what I call hate mail number 2. It's how infuriated she gets when she finds out that I was allowed to attend things at your school. I'm sorry about this, Juliette, and I don't want to be putting down your mother as a cause for you hating me. And if it is, I'm not going to sit back and have you live the rest of your life knowing the lies that your mother told you. This is the truth. And I can verify it. And when you're older, maybe you'll understand. And Lori's family, friends, I'm sorry. I really am. I'm sorry to say these things about Lori. But she's done something really awful. She's done something really bad. And I think one of you needs to talk to her. And Juliette, I love you always. Bye.